Good morning, church. I hope all of us are doing well this week, and I hope when we walked in this room, our main purpose and our main desire was Jesus and Jesus alone. Because I think many times we forget that what a privilege it is to sit here and to be in the presence of God and to worship Him. So today the message I'll be sharing is about I hope at least all of our favorite character in the Bible, that is Jesus. And in the context about it is Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray because in a few minutes or he was about to be arrested, and he was about to face the crucifixion and about to face the persecution that was going to come. And the verse is Mark 14 verse 34, and it reads, "Then he said to them," that is the disciples, Jesus said to the disciples, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch." He went a little farther and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, "Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Take this cup away from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what you will." And this is one of the most beautiful verses that I have read till now of the Bible, and it just shows us that Jesus went through a great deal of suffering for you and for me, and he felt a lot to enter into the time for him to be crucified, the persecution, the anxiety, the pain, the thoughts. It was a lot for him. So but you know what he did? Instead of thinking about those feelings, his first response was, "I will go and pray." And you know his prayer is so powerful. He praises his Father, and he's like, "God, all things are possible from you." Then he is real with God. "Take this cup from me." And how many of y'all are like this? When we come to God, we're like, "God, I can't handle it anymore. I can't handle this person or this life anymore, or this problem. It's taking too much of my thoughts. I can't take it anymore." But the difference, I think, between Jesus and many of us is that Jesus, he showed his feelings to God, but then at the end, he submitted to God's will. He had every right to question God. He had every right to not go according to God's plan for him, but he said, "No, not what I will, but what you will." And he said, all things are possible for God, but not all things may be in his will. And Jesus knew that. Jesus knew that if he were to submit in God's will, the suffering that he was going to face, he suffered a lot, but now you see Jesus is in all his glory and all his honor at the right hand of God. Okay. When you reach that point of surrender, when you realize that when you submit to God's will, he will get the glory, and you are going according to his plan, he will always get the glory at the end, but you will also get to partake of that glory. So I want to encourage you, no matter what you're facing, Jesus faced the highest, and he did it for you and me. So just be real with God. Give your heart to God. Give your surrender to God. Surrendering the pressures of this world is a lot. And Jesus, if you read, Jesus had to go and pray this same prayer 3 times because it kept on bothering him. That's the stress of the world. So you have to, for us as Christians coming to church, it's so important because we have to continuously strip ourselves of our own desires and submit to his will. And praying this prayer, reaching this point of surrender is not easy. It's hard, but when you reach that point, you will reach your point of victory. So don't let the feelings of this world and what you're thinking and what people are saying affect you, but remember that God's will for you is good, and he has a good plan for each and every one of us. Amen?